Welcome back to Spike Piledriver. My name is Anders, and today we are starting a brand new save game on Total Extreme Wrestling 9. That's right, today we are starting as World Championship Wrestling in the year 2000, but we are going to do it with a bit of a twist. So every single episode we're going to be booking either Nitro or a pay-per-view, and I'm going to have the show booked as we start the episode, but then I'm going to go to a Google Sheet here which will have randomly generated tasks that I need to do to rebook the show on the fly. At the moment I've got a list of 31 things. I'll run through a few in a second, but I'm going to ask you to let me know down in the comments some more ideas to mix things up and get a real WCW 2000 feel for the show. I'll put that request out for the comments down below. I'll also put a community post on and also go and post on the Grey Dog forum. I'd like to gather some more ideas to really mix up this save and make it really feel like we are booking WCW 2000. So the general booking will be kind of coherent, but then this randomly generated task will drop in. So at the moment, the one that's showing here is start everything all over again. So we're going to hit a big reset button, strip all the titles, and start a new company-wide storyline. That could be the New Blood, that could be something else. But generally speaking, they're wild and wacky rebooks to the show. Nothing quite as drastic as that one. That one's kind of a big reset button, but there's things around the New World Order, either splitting them up or getting the band back together depending on whether they exist in the save or not. Similarly for the Horsemen, stuff around New World Champions just being booked on the fly, Hogan inserting himself into the booking for no real reason, running an injury angle and making a change to a main event but then ignoring it in the next week, having hardcore titles switching in a throwaway match, having people breaking kayfabe, love triangles if people have got their spouses on the roster, just chucking them in a love triangle because why not, having tag teams split up, having random tag teams win, random wrestlers being tag teamed together and winning the titles for no reason whatsoever. Basically, and also having someone turn on Sting because it's Sting, so why not? But basically just some wild, unpredictable stuff to drop in into the booking last minute to change things up and affect the way the shows are being run. You can see on screen here, as the random number generator flicks through every minute, we've got another one there as we're taking over, basically introduce a new stable, whether the NWO is there or not, that are going to do a hostile takeover of the company. It doesn't have to be successful, they just have to try and take over for at least one show. But generally, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to this page, have one or two for each show being generated, rebooking the show. That'll be the bulk of the video. So we'll have the show booked, we'll have to change things on the fly, and then we'll run through the show and try and make it seem somewhat coherent, but it will probably end up being booked like WCW 2000. Right, we're going to jump into game now, give you a bit of an overview of where the company stands as we start, and then get a preview for what we're going to do throughout the series. Okay, so this is what WCW 2000 looks like as we start. Obviously, this is before the Radicals leave at the end of January. So we've still got Benoit, Malenko, Guerrero, and Saturn and Douglas on the roster. But we've also got lots of people with bad morale. So Billy Kidman, Rey Mysterio, Conan, all got morale issues. It's a turbulent time in the company. But the powers that be, so Russo and Ferrara, are still in charge, kind of on screen as well, kind of not really on screen, but you get the idea, they'll be there. We've also got some of the random tasks to give us a new authority figure and just ignore the previous one. But that's what the booking team looks like at the moment. I'm playing as Vince Russo. Ed Ferrara, or Oklahoma, is also in the booking team. One of the tasks is to just add a random main eventer to the booking team as well. But that's what we do there. Champions-wise, the world champion is Bret Hart. He is not injured, I don't think. Potentially injured. He's out injured. He's got a concussion. I'm not sure how long he's out for, but we'll figure that out because obviously he's the champion. We're going to have to figure that one as we go through the next few weeks. US champion is Jeff Jarrett. He is not injured at the moment, but he did get injured on WCW-TB, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Tag team championships are vacant. They were held by the Outsiders up until the end of December, but Scott Hall is currently in rehab, I think. We'll have to check that. But those are now vacant. There's a title tournament already set up, which I'll show you in a second. Cruiserweight title is being held by Medusa. She beat Evan Courageous at Starrcade, I believe. And the hardcore title is currently held by Norman Smiley as the first champion. TV title got dropped in the dustbin by Scott Hall. So there we go. That's currently vacant. Not sure we'll bring it back. Speaking of the tag title tournament, that's already been set up. They're a combination of teams, either actual tag teams or just thrown together tag teams, including Buzzkill and Mike Rotunda, who is half of the Varsity Club. So why is he not teaming with his tag team partner? I don't know. It's WCW. But there we go. They are the matches that you will see on Nitro. Whether we do the whole tournament on Nitro, I'm not sure. We might drag it out to Sold Out, but who really knows what we're going to do? It's WCW, so we'll just get through it. If we look at the medical situation as well, we'll be able to see who else is off. Okay, so looking at absences, you can see Bret Hart can only work angles for the next 5 years. So that's going to be tough with our champion. We might have to figure that one out. Brian Adams is off for personal reasons for 4 months. Brian Clark's out with a torn ACL for 4 months. Eric Bischoff's off for 4 months. Goldberg's broke his wrist. He's out till May. Hogan is out at least for the next month. Torrie Wilson's off for a couple of weeks. But there we go. So we're going to have to figure something out with Bret Hart. We can't keep him as champion if he can't actually wrestle. We'll have to do some sort of angle. But we'll figure that one out as we're booking through the next few shows. In terms of shows we're going to book, we're just going to book Nitro. I've turned Thunder into a B show, and we're just going to tape it before Nitro and let the auto booker just book the mid-card through Thunder, and any good matches that happen there we'll bring over to Nitro, and anyone who starts performing well on Thunder who doesn't regularly feature on Nitro we'll bring over as well. But Nitro is the show we'll be focusing on, because trying to book more than one show in this chaotic way of booking will be difficult. And then we've got pay-per-views. Obviously Sold Out is the first one in January. We've got a couple of Nitros before that one. In fact, have we got a couple of Nitros? No, have we just got one Nitro or two? Hang on. Where are we? 3rd, 10th. No, we've got 2 Nitros before Sold Out. So we'll be able to set the scene a little bit as we're going into the pay-per-view. But that's kind of what we're going to do in the next episode. We're just kind of setting up the scene at the moment. Goldberg is our figurehead, but he is obviously out injured. So we're going to have no figurehead for the moment. Creative-wise, Goldberg is franchise player. He's out injured. Hogan, franchise player. He's currently on absence for a month. Bret Hart, injured for the next 5 years. Sting and DDP are also on the top of the list. So it's kind of 2 out of 5 we've actually got our disposal going forwards. No one on the next big things. Hot prospect-wise, Rey Mysterio and Kidman, if we can keep them, are both there. Mona is also there as well, so Molly Holly. Sonny Siaki, I didn't realise was actually on the WCW roster at this point. And Juventud Guerrera knocking out the top 5. The usual suspects on Talk the Talk. Basically, the NWO, Ric Flair and DDP. Showstoppers, again, Mysterio, Guerrero could be leaving. Bret Hart, injured. Booker T and Sting on that list. Ring Generals, Bret Hart, injured. Benoit, probably leaving. Malenko, probably leaving. Perfect and Regal, who's potentially leaving soon as well. Pretty sure his contract is up in the not too distant future. Benoit's got really good momentum, but again, he's probably leaving. Norman Smiley's got really good momentum, but he's down low on the card. Saturn leaving, potentially. Kidman and Mike Rotunda is there as well. Who's not? Bam Bam, Scott Hall, Booker T, who we're going to have to try and rebuild. Jeff Jarrett, who we really need to rebuild as well. And Roddy Piper. And then on the Hidden Gems, people we probably won't be signing anytime soon, but you are aware of who they are. It's Cena, Kennedy, CM Punk, Carlito, and Umaga. So lots of really good young talent knocking around at the beginning of the year 2000. But that's where we're going to leave this episode. Next time around, we'll be booking Nitro and then rebooking Nitro, depending on what our spreadsheet tells us to do. If you've got ideas, again, let us know in the comments down below. Some wacky ideas. You don't have to fully flesh them out. Just drop some random comments in, and we'll try and turn them into something that we can use to rebook the show. And we're going to try and get the first Nitro out in the not too distant future and keep the shows coming every sort of week, just to try and get some momentum going with the save, maybe a bit more frequently if we get really into things and it's well received here on YouTube. Right, thanks again. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you for the first episode of WCW Nitro as we rebook WCW 2000 with the help of a wacky spreadsheet that's going to change things up on the fly. Thanks for watching.